Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, we are back with another video that I am pretty excited about. I got coached by LS just a couple of days ago, a day and a half ago at this point, I think. And today, I want to talk about it. This video was actually going to be one big video, but I've decided to split it into two separate videos. I had a coaching session with LS, and today, I'm going to talk about it. Today, I'm going to talk about my experience with it, you know, why I did it, even though I said I would never do it, why I decided to go and do it, what it was like, give you guys my opinions on all that sort of stuff. And there is a little bit of gameplay in the background. This is gameplay that I played earlier today, and I don't know if any of you guys know actual mistakes that I was making. You guys meme that I, do all sorts of things wrong, but if you notice some of the actual mistakes that I really make a lot when it comes to like positioning late game and poor split pushing mechanics and things like that, a lot of those aren't here in this game. I mean, I've actually started improving quite a bit, and I am pretty excited about the future. If you would like to see the coaching session, LS is putting it up on his YouTube channel, so I will link that in the description of this video. But anyway, I'm also going to release a video tomorrow that, while today we just sort of talk about things, tomorrow I'll show you guys some gameplay beforehand of what I was playing like before and some of the mistakes I was making, as well as some gameplay afterwards, showing you guys a game that is, they're two separate games where there were almost identical situations. It was pretty funny how similar they were, actually, but in one of them, it was before the coaching, I had a lot of flaws, and after I learned quite a bit about things I should be improving on, I played a lot better, and I'm kind of excited to show you guys that. But that will be tomorrow. Today, we're going to go ahead and just sort of talk about things, but first things first, why did I decide to get the coaching? So let me start this off by saying I was pretty adamant about not getting coached. I know. Let me explain my reasons for the 100th time. The first reason, and by far the main reason I didn't want to get coaching, was because I never got an opportunity to try and climb past Diamond 5 on my own. I've only been Diamond for 2 previous seasons, previous to this season. I made it to Diamond twice, and in both of those instances, I just sort of got to Diamond, and I was like, okay, that's great. That was fun. Now I'm just going to focus on making YouTube videos. I never really tried to grind beyond that. I was just focusing on streaming for fun or making YouTube videos and never really seriously trying to grind. And I wanted to try and have that experience for myself. Honestly speaking, I am glad I did it. It was a really awesome experience being able to, I mean, we ended up falling back down to Diamond 5 through falling into like raging and tilting and all that kind of jazz. But we went from someone that couldn't get above Diamond 550 LP to climbing all the way to Diamond 3 multiple times. So we did have some improvement, but at the end of the day, it got really frustrating winning lane over and over and losing the game and not knowing how I was losing all of these games where I won lane. And I mean, I did end up, I'll be honest, I did end up getting stuck at like D4 to D3 when we only played Aurelia and D4 to D5 when we weren't playing Aurelia. So, I mean, that was something that I'm still kind of glad I did, but that was the number one reason why I didn't want to get coaching right away. Part of that was also, when I said that and you guys were like, no, we don't care what you want to do, just get the coaching anyway, that really made me adamant about not getting coaching right away, because I was like, no, you guys can't tell me what to do. I want to try playing League on my own. The second reason was a little more, I mean, it might be wrong. I'll admit that. But the second reason was I do believe to some extent, even now, that if it's between an option of you figuring something out yourself and being told something by someone else, figuring out something yourself is always better. I believe that's true, and I might be wrong, but like it's like Braid. Any of you guys play the puzzle game Braid? If you're going and you're figuring out the puzzles on your own, it's a really satisfying, rewarding experience. You feel like you're getting smarter. You feel like you're figuring out the game. Whereas if you just go and look up the puzzle solutions online, it's not nearly as satisfying or rewarding. I think that does have some truth to it. I may be wrong, but I'm stubborn in that belief. But a third reason that I never really talked about was I was just kind of scared. I really look up to a lot of people in the League of Legends community, whether they be other YouTubers, other streamers, people that work at Riot, and the king of everyone that I really put on a pedestal are people that work in esports, because not only have a lot of those guys, gotten to do more with League of Legends, and they know more about the inner workings at the professional level and the competitive scene, and they know all this stuff that I don't know, but they're also better at the game than me, right? I mean, there are YouTubers, I don't want to call anyone out, but like, even if there's YouTubers that are more successful at me than me on YouTube, I'm still able to say, well, at least I'm a better player than you, right? I can't even say that when we're talking about pro players and stuff. And LS in particular is a really scary person when it comes to, someone that I would look up to quite a bit. He's a guy that isn't really known for holding back his opinions, especially when he's doing something like coaching. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking getting coached by him, and I was definitely very nervous going into it. But ultimately, the thing that ended up changing my mind about all of this was I started watching some of his videos. And some of his streams. I watched his vlog talking about his experience coaching Tempo Storm and coming back to America for a while, and watched his stream and some of the advice that he was giving and coaching other people. And it was a really interesting experience. He reminded me why I started following the League of Legends competitive scene in the first place. Just figuring out that there was a lot more to the game, a lot more to laning phase, a lot more to there were just so many things, both in terms of following the esports scene and then seeing that this guy who's so well versed in so many different elements of it, being a StarCraft player, being a League of Legends coach, being a caster, he's interwoven in the League of Legends competitive scene, and being able to I didn't really look at it as coaching. I looked at it more as being able to have an experience with some guy that just, he's one of the big figureheads in esports when it comes to League of Legends, especially in somewhere like Korea right now. I figured, what the hell am I doing? I should go ahead and get coaching. And I did. And it was a really awesome experience. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. Basically, the coaching, the way it worked was there were 3 people there, actually. Myself, LS, and then Adrian, the Riven top Adrian, not the support for Dignitas Adrian. I'm pretty sure they're 2 separate people. Adrian was also there as someone for me to 1v1, and then LS. The way it worked, you can watch the VOD on LS's YouTube channel. It started off with this 1v1 where I would go top lane up against Adrian, and then just lane a little while until he eventually killed me, I think, both times. There was one opportunity where I outplayed him, and I could have killed him if I flash autoed for a kill. You can see it in the thing. But I was really nervous during this first part of the 1v1. If you watch the VOD, it might be included in the VOD. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. The very first thing I do is I walk to lane and I stun a minion. I was so nervous, right? My palms were sweaty, my knees were weak, my arms were heavy. I was really nervous in 1v1ing someone that I knew was so good. And I had a lot of fun in the 1v1, actually. It was a really rewarding experience. For the most part, I kind of felt proud. I kind of held my own and had decent mechanics when it came to the 1v1. We did one 1v1, then we looked back at the VOD and did a little bit of VOD review. Then we did another one, and then again, VOD review. And just sort of talked about some basic elements when it comes to laning in the top lane, especially 1v1 up against someone. After that, we had a game where I queued up for a ranked game, and then they sort of talked to me about the things I was doing right, the things I was doing wrong, what I should be doing, and saying, what do you do now? Now go farm, go. You want to let your team do dragon, leave them, go farm bot lane. You don't need to stay there. That's overkill, that sort of stuff. And then after that, we did a little bit of VOD review of the game. So that ended up taking 2 hours, and it was a absolutely wonderful experience. It was a really, really exciting and fun thing that I am 100% glad that I did. And I would say that at the end of the day, I probably... I'm just super excited about League of Legends now. I'm super excited to get back to grinding and all sorts of stuff, but I'll try and calm myself and keep this video structured. At the end of the day, I think there's probably 3 things that I took away from the experience. The first one was, a lot of people say that I'm too proud of a player. I don't know where people got that idea. I feel like I have the complete opposite problem. When I'm a YouTuber, I'm in a bit of a weird situation, right? I'm a YouTuber and a streamer, so a lot of people... For 80% of my games, you guys can watch them. For 80% of the matches of League of Legends I play, you guys can watch them and talk directly to me. And so, naturally, every single death I have, you guys make fun of me for it. Every single CS I miss, you make fun of me for it. Every time I don't TP gank, you make fun of me for it. Every time I TP gank and miss out on a kill, you make fun of me for it. It's every single thing that I do is put under such scrutiny that I really second guess everything that I do. If you watch my stream in this past 30 days of streaming that I'm doing, 31 days of daily streams, you'll see that I would second guess literally every single moment in game, unless I'm raging at someone that's flaming me or something. Every single time I'm just saying, oh, I don't know if that was a mistake. Oh, God, that was terrible. Oh, that's probably a mistake. Over and over and over. And so naturally, this is kind of a good mentality to have, right? It's kind of a good mentality to have in terms of, okay, I'm not going to, have a mistake happen and not realize it's there, probably, kind of, at least in something like laning phase. If I'm second guessing everything, then I'm going to be second guessing mistakes that I'm making. But at the end of the day, I'm also second guessing things that are probably pretty good decisions, right? Like the decision not to teleport gank something where I probably couldn't have, maybe I'll be in a game where there's no good opportunity to TP gank and I go 12 minutes without using my teleport. I'm suddenly sitting there thinking, I haven't used my teleport in 12 minutes. This is terrible. I'm playing awfully. I second guess that, even if that might have been the right decision. So at the end of the day, I think one of the greatest experiences, or one of the greatest thing about the experience of getting coached, was just being able to trust somebody else who I know is a very good and experienced player, and being able to hear that, oh, what I'm doing here is fine. Oh, this is, one of the greatest, or one of the kind of exciting and proud moments I had during the coaching was there was a moment when Adrian said to me, where do you think you're playing wrong? Because from these 1v1s, you don't seem to have major mistakes in your laning phase. You seem to be laning pretty well. Just, he said I was laning at like a Diamond 1 or low master level. So, hearing that, oh, I was right when I said to you guys, like however many months ago, that I'm a pretty decent laner, but I just have big mistakes in the mid game and late game with decision making and rotations. You guys made fun of me for that all the time. And suddenly I start thinking I'm a terrible laner. But hearing that, okay, maybe I don't need to focus on my laning phase and I can focus on these other elements of the game where I'm making mistakes. That was a great, exciting thing that I'm very, very finally knowing that, okay, I can feel confident in this area, just work on this area. Oh boy, that's a huge weight off my shoulders. Also, there were a lot of things that I learned that I'd probably put them into two categories in terms of the stuff that LS actually taught me. He would either, everything he said would either be something that's maybe three categories. It would either be something that's a detail-oriented thing, something that's mentality-oriented, or playstyle-oriented. So, for instance, a detail-oriented thing would be something like telling me, that auto attacks draw auto attacks draw minion aggro if you auto attack a champion, but spells don't. Or that the direction a champion's face is shows where the person playing that champion clicked last with their mouse. There were little things like that I didn't entirely know. People make fun of me for not knowing that spells don't draw minion aggro. You don't use that many spells to harass on their own top lane. Give me a break. But at the end of the day, learning some things like that were really interesting. In terms of the playstyle-oriented things that he taught me, I'll go a lot more into that in tomorrow's video. But, just stuff like focusing on CSing and not going for kills, and you'll see that if you watch the VOD. But again, some of these things I already did know, especially when it comes to mentality stuff and playstyle stuff. But hearing from someone you trust that, oh, you're right, this is really what you should be focusing on, and just focus on that and nothing else. Hearing that from someone that you can put your faith in is a really, really empowering thing, and gives me a lot of confidence with my gameplay going forward. And, lastly, mentality stuff when it comes to, just think about your teammates as NPCs. Don't worry about them. Don't try and coordinate Baron plays or anything. You can just play on your own, focus on your own stuff. Don't trust them necessarily to make certain crazy plays, and don't make an engaged, just banking on your team doing the right thing. That would probably be the third category of thing that he really taught me about. And I don't know, man. I feel like it's all taken effect very well. I mean, in this game, I don't know. I can't see this right now because I'm recording the gameplay separately from this webcam recording, but I feel like in this game in particular, I did a great job with stuff like positioning myself in the late game and positioning myself for split pushing, not always going forward and showing myself staying in the fog of war, warding properly, being able to escape and run away when the enemy comes for me. I mean, for the most part, I'm starting to put all the pieces together, and I feel more motivated than ever to climb. And that's the third thing that this coaching really did for me. I mean, 1v1ing Adrian top lane, I was in shock. Because I actually had to think, when you're stuck in Diamond 5 for 2 years, you can just kill Diamond 5 top laners, right? Diamond 5 top laners are terrible. I can kill them 5 times, 6 times in laning phase. It's a really easy thing to do. There's a lot of mistakes you can take advantage of. Nobody's playing well. So when I had to play against a challenger top laner and lane against a challenger top laner, and I'm thinking, whoa, I actually have to pay attention to things. This is not a brain dead player that's going to let me solo kill him over and over. I really have to pay attention to how I'm doing things. And it really got me excited and made me realize there is a huge, there's an entirely different level of League of Legends that I can have so much fun with if I get up there. And it's really reignited my desire to climb. I'm not going to say I'm going to start Road to Masters again or anything like that, but it's really made me excited about playing the game again. And I think that's the most important thing. I didn't expect this coaching session to have such an impact on my desire to continue playing the game. I always played the game just because it's kind of fun, but now I really have a desire to seriously see if I can climb to a rating with the promise not of, getting master tier and whoa, that's awesome, but being able to just, play against better competition. The competitive element is like reignited. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited to be back on that grind. Anyway, I'm sure you guys have a lot of comments for me in this video that are not going to be very nice. A lot of you guys are going to be disappointed in me for caving in and giving in, getting the coaching. Some of you guys might be happy. Again, if you want to see the full VOD of the coaching, that will be in the description down below. But I'll be back tomorrow with another video where we'll go a little more into detail on just what it is that I think I'm improving at and where my mistakes lay. You guys might actually learn something, actually. You guys might learn something since a lot of you guys are lower rated than I am, so stick around for that. I hope you all enjoyed watching today's video. I will see you all tomorrow, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.